Yeah, take milk as well. Yeah, Alistair. Yeah. You're quietly organising us. Yeah, I'm quietly.
Well, I'm in the way again, am I?
No, I just need to get myself organised with the light nicely.
That's right. Oh, we used to gather whelps down here.
Yeah.
They were quite good. Quite plentiful around here, the whelps.
Is it how long have you been here?
4 years now. 4 years in March, next month. I didn't realise when I first came here that I would stay so long. As a boy in Ballahoolish, there was a piper there called Ian Lowry. And his father was the Queen's piper. And he played at Edinburgh Castle. And he taught me the pipes. He taught me the chanter when I was a boy. So I went into the army then. I joined the army. There was a piper in the 1st Battalion, Queen's Own.
What year was that?
Which regiment, Alec?
Queen's Own Cameron, Highlanders.
And what year?
1951. I was in London playing at the White City to the Queen. The pipes were the Countach, they called it, the old people. It was a language. Before it was put on to music, it was a language. It came from Norway. And it was the MacCrimmons of Skye that converted this Countach language. They converted it into music and put it on the pipes. And that's what you have today, they call pibroch. It's different from normal pipe tunes like marches, space and reels. It's always a mournful kind of thing. And well, anyway, the night before the massacre of Glencoe, this Jamie Campbell decided that he would warn the MacDonalds of the massacre, so he played his pipes. But unfortunately, there was no MacDonalds that night that could play this pibroch language. So had there been a MacDonald there that understood the massacre of Glencoe, the pibroch, then they would have been warned in time. Well, if you listen to the tune and you listen to the words that were used in those days resembled the notes of the tune. So the Massacre of Glencoe would go dee ho ho yo pro habadum re ho, and so on. So that is actually a warning in itself. Anyone with an ear to music should be able to detect a warning in those notes, the way in which they've been played. They're not played as a lament, they're not played as a mass or as a burial, they're played as a warning, as a sadness, as something's going to happen.
But, I mean, obviously, this present government isn't representing the majority of the Scottish people. I mean, how can they be with only 9 MPs? And Scotland have been like that for the last 13 years. They've voted predominantly socialist and been governed by, under Thatcher, one of the most right-wing governments in Europe. And I think the Scottish people have had quite enough. The people were bound in communities before. And Thatcherism or conservatism does away with that sort of thing, and the Scottish people still feel that. You know, they still feel a sense of community and still want to carry it on. And of course, it was a big industrial belt at one time, and that's where the socialist feeling came from the Clyde side. So during the housing boom in London, they sold their houses down there for $750,000. Came up here, bought estates for 100,000. And then they wouldn't let the people carry on with the traditions that were set down over hundreds of years. Common grazing, common peat digging, just things like that. And a lot of them have agitated. I mean, we're not against people who are prepared who are coming into the community understand the community and prepared to live within it and help it. But it's the ones who think that they know better and want to come in and change the way things have been or the way things are. And that's basically the main argument. But I know a lot of the figures during the Highland clearances, but in Lochaber there, where they moved out something like 100,000 people, it's amazing to think that 100,000 people could have sustained themselves on that land at that time and be perfectly happy with it. But people moved in, wanted a greater return from the land, appealed to the heads of the clans. Look, your rent here is only £500 a year. You could double, treble, whatever that, if you were just to throw your people off and get sheep in. And a lot of the heads of the clans went for it and did it. Get rid of their own people for money.
Putting up.
Louis? You boy. Luke? That's it now. Other way!
Now you've got 4 pictures of me going away. I mean, it's going to be very boring.
That's what people like to see you doing.
I'll take a picture of you getting out of this now.
I think it's quite difficult sort of talking about things which
Which are non-verbal.
which are absolutely non-verbal. They sort of grow out of themselves as well.
Mm.
It's
Exactly.
the drawings take over,
Mm.
and I quite surprised myself when I finished one. I do wonder sometimes how much it will take to change anything.
Mm.
I really do feel sometimes that it's too late.
Mm.
Sometimes I'm humming and Jennifer's got, I may be humming a certain tack, or it's da 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 da,
Mm.
and Jennifer starts to write words with those particular syllables in it,
Right.
and then tells me, look, this, what you were doing yesterday fits this, and then I've got to go, Christ, what the hell was I doing yesterday? Oh, right, I remember.
They're going to have a sort of information building, and they're going to have a snack bar restaurant. They hope that their shop will sell locally made crafts. I have news for them, but I won't give it to them just yet.
I'm a bit unhappy about it being split into two, with the development of the deer park near Baravala. I don't know exactly where. And the pressures. No, I know where Baravala is. I don't know exactly where they would, what they would do there, and the pressures that would bring on our road that is already under a lot of pressure. And a lot of people come back to this area specifically for unspoiled. That for me was quite a worrying aspect of this plan.
I think that
I would have thought with an area like this, you're far more likely to walk the kids along a beach than you are ever to go around a wildlife. You know.
the thing is, of course, that there are people who are terrified of walking along the beach.
Call them pinning. I usually get them off an old wall, but I haven't got any. I've got to break them up, you see, small, for putting in the wall.
It
I
was
suppose so.
It was the ferry croft.
And that would be the boundary of the ferry croft.
I think it was.
Croft. Well, there were all those fields right along there, Alistair. Maybe they're not being used today, but I would say at one stage every inch of that ground would have been cultivated.
Yeah, but they are used today, but for just for the rougher kind of a grazing, you know, just for the animals.
But it seems to be natural for people to build walls. I mean, a man could actually go around that point and build himself the most beautiful house with the stones that are lying around on the shore. You could build yourself a beautiful wee cottage and thatch it. It'd be quite comfortable, wouldn't you?
The Scottish National Party proposal is that Scotland should remain a kingdom within the Commonwealth and NATO and Europe. There is a wing, I think there is in every political party at the moment, there's a Republican wing. And they're very vocal, but I don't think they have the majority by any manner of means. And as Mary says, she is our queen after all. She's Queen of Britain because she's from the Stuart line.
I think that people have been brainwashed into thinking that they can't do things. It must be either the laird originally or somebody, the minister, somebody with education. In prehistoric times, probably they worshipped at least the rivers and the hills and the seas and natural features. And from that they began to really think of the seasons, and then you get the three goddesses of winter, spring and summer. And that has developed into the mother and the hearth. And the basis of the race really coming from the mother. And of course there are all these things that the men were really frightened of the mother, especially the mother goddess, the mother aspect of God, especially because if a woman lets down her hair, it's supposed to sap all the strength out of a man.
Beaten coils of avarice soul, my love's a